Do you want to start? Welcome to the call.
Yeah. My intentions are just to hang out with you guys and probably do other things while we're talking. It's the beginning of the month, so I'm trying to get everyone paid. And that's just nice background work. But of course, I'm here for the Hatcher Outreach and any progress that we want to make. And distractions. Well, yeah, I'm distracted by probably just doing boring spreadsheet work. Uh, yeah, and I'll pass. And I guess just really quick, my thoughts. Yeah, we have something along the lines of, once you contribute something, that work is in GitHub, that is very explicit about exactly what Jake's doing, where it's like, hey, if you're working for the TEC, your shit's not yours anymore. So, we have the right to keep it up because, it's done in the name of the TEC. And it's like pretty common contributor agreement. So, maybe we need to have that in the form as well. And I'll pass it to Tam.
Intentions, well, the agenda. Just a few things. I don't feel like anything's too urgent or pressing today. I don't know that there's that much else to talk about. And I don't have any distractions, so fully present. But just really around the campaigns and sort of like how we're going to handle the relationship management with hatchers when we hatch and what those campaigns will look like too. Maybe get a lead start on those. And I'll pass to Zeptimus.
Thanks, Tam. Yeah, my intentions is stay here with you guys, see where I get support, and no distractions. Back to you, Edu.
Thank you. Intentions is just to hear any feedback if there was any, for example, from Septimus to when he outreach people by sending the messages to see if you have any feedback on that. And the rest of the things are in the one agenda. And yeah, and distractions, none at the moment. So shall we start with sorry. So Septimus, do you have any feedback from sending the messages? How did it go?
Well, I sent it to Wilgriff and Daiti, and Wilgriff, yeah, he knows everything, and Daiti didn't answer me at all. So yeah, that's my feedback.
Did the message was read, or it was just like
well,
do you see the double check?
It's here on Discord, so I don't know.
All right. What about you, Griff? Did your messages went well?
I definitely got some people on the platform, but no, I don't think so. I can't think of anyone. No one that I tracked. I think it was just people asking me about the burn and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, I outreached to, I did a bunch of outreach right before the burn. I reached out to Eden, and he came on. I reached out to Jared Hope. What are we? Am I allowed to be saying things on this? This is recorded, huh? Or not?
I mean, yeah, it's recorded, so better don't say nothing that.
Yeah. So I won't say anything because some people like anonymity. But yeah, I reached out to a bunch of people, and a bunch of people signed up, and some people didn't. And that's okay. But we got a lot of people activated, especially around the people who. But this is for activation, not really like, hey, be a hatcher. Just getting them activated before their tokens were burned. But I didn't try to onboard them to what the TEC is doing, really.
Okay. Tam, do you want to take on the your thoughts on the outreach campaign?
So the two campaigns, right? So there was the voting campaign, and I did like a big blitz like the night before, and it was surprising. A lot of people were actually really reacted to that. Some were very much like, oh, okay, I'm definitely going to vote, which was nice. And then some were more like, I don't understand anything. What is this language you guys are speaking? So there's different kinds, but I think that it was I think it helped us get the numbers up of individual voters. It was interesting. There was a lot of positive feedback to the vote. I don't know if I think everyone else has expressed or received the same thing. And then for the impact hours, it looks like I only reached out to 4 people actually. This is something I think I too, but probably maybe mostly me too, have to get on top of. There's a few people. The general feel was okay, we'll activate, but I happen to have reached out to them just before the Swiss DApp, the Swiss membership DApp was down for a few hours. So then I sort of stopped and didn't pick it up from there. Overall, I think that people are happy for the reminder. There's a lot of like, hey, thanks for this reminder. So I think it's positive. It just reminds me, the vote and this individual outreach campaigns that we're doing reminded me that a lot of the people that we want to participate in the TEC are not, maybe not reading all our Twitters, not reading our blog posts, not on our Discord. They're not sitting there waiting for the next instruction from the TEC. So the people that I reach out to are like, oh, hey, thanks. I'm glad I know this now, even though we've been saying it in all of our media communications. So it just sort of reinforces how necessary I think this individual step is, this like individual one-on-one DM step is. Okay. Is there anything else we want to talk about for the campaigns? Maybe let's see how many we have left and how we can divvy it up.
Just to let you know, Griff, that I told this to Tam also. I update I put it on the Common Storm GitHub thing. I don't know the name in Spanish. I forgot the name in English. The issue for no, but the repository. The thing for the bugs that some people reported were when we were doing the outreach. Oh,
bugs on the Swiss membership app, or bugs on the Hatch?
On the Swiss.
Okay, thank you for telling me, because that's actually in a different repo.
Yeah.
So but I can move them over. I don't know if you saw this, Tam, but ZenHub added a transfer issue button.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The one I sent you,
they're making
the one I sent you, and create another one because I put it in the wrong repository.
What? Okay, you sent it to me on Discord? Is that true?
No, that's the wrong
one. Where'd you send it? Maybe I have a bunch of unread messages here. I don't know where to look. Sorry, you broke up. Can you say that again? There it is.
So the thing that Eduardo related to people who are having difficulty, and one of them seems to have been solved by adding Ethereum because there was insufficient funds for the gas, and the second one he opened an issue in the repository.
Yeah.
Hey Eduardo, welcome back. In the repository for the Swiss member DApp. I'm assuming we'll be able to look at it this evening when that.
Sorry, yeah, my computer broke for some reason, so I moved to my phone. So yeah, so basically, one person got stuck, like in a loop, and the message always is the same and doesn't change. So nothing. She basically cannot move forward that step. So I took a screenshot. She sent me her screenshot, and I uploaded, and I added her Ethereum address to check if the transaction went through or it's just that it's a bug. No clue.
Do you know if she tried to speed up her transaction?
But
she did not, or you don't know.
But I think she's not very familiar with this thing, so I think that she probably didn't pay. She didn't have gas fee, and that's why it didn't go through. But no clue. I asked her, and
Okay, because I can move. You don't have to remake this issue. I can move it really easily.
I already created, so it's done.
Okay. I was just really excited. I haven't transferred. Dude, this has been a pain in our ass. Tam knows. I guess it's not in Zen Hub.
It's in
GitHub.
it's in the common, the Swiss stuff. Anyway, so yeah, just letting you know that for you to take a look whenever you can, so I can answer her because she's still waiting for a reply.
Yeah. Did you put her
on the,
address somewhere?
On this issue I opened, the other one.
The new one.
Yeah. So next point was. Sorry, I can read from my phone. Okay. Can you read the 48 thing? I cannot read it from.
Outreach campaign
For this week of the Hatch.
Relationship management.
Relationship management.
You are muted. You are still muted.
You muted them.
Oh God.
Oh
Okay.
God. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting an echo.
Yeah, I'm getting an echo.
There's a slight
It seems like there's a slight delay. All right, is that better? Cool. I just want to stop and make a point to say that there's still 48 people that have more than 10 impact hours and haven't activated, and 44 people who have between 4 and 10. So that's our next priority, and I'll have some time Friday to pick up some of these.
Oh man.
Yeah, I will probably have the thing with Craig today to see if this amount of people that you just mentioned are the same, or if there is someone we need to check.
Can you drop a message where we can see the answer? I think you sent it privately to him, but maybe if you drop it in the Hatch Outreach channel or something, and then we can see when he responds.
Yeah. Sure.
Rather than you asking him privately and then me asking him privately and then him having to respond to both of us privately.
Yes, no problem.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Is there something else you wanted to add?
Oh no, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the outreach campaign for the first week of the Hatch and sort of going after that. I don't know that we need to do anything on it today, but I'm just keeping it. I think the priority is really this impact hour campaign, and I don't really think there's just keeping it in the back of our mind. Like there will be a massive one-on-one outreach campaign we'll want to do, and I think we can prepare for it now, meaning like get all of the people and who's going to be responsible for contacting them ready together and get a sort of a bigger team together so that it's not us sort of scrambling at the last minute with these two like we did with these two campaigns. So I think if we can divide all of the everyone that is in these two lists, maybe have one list, one final list, and then assign like whoever we can participate in this outreach for. Hey, we're live.
I think
so.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
That I think it will be a great opportunity. If by the time we launch this campaign or we do this part of the Hatch, we have the community person involved, so we can start. That will be like a nice way to be introductory to these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll have a few more people, and hopefully, I think we're only building community. I mean, like, there's a lot of new people. So, yeah, and I'm definitely excited to do Hatch Outreach. Basically, the day before the Hatch, like probably the day to start. Honestly, for most people that we really want, we should probably get them the day of the hatch, the next day, the day after, like the first week, and then the ones that don't contribute follow up again the last week, and get them to put in beforehand. I think we're going to have a couple big challenges. Number one, it makes absolutely no sense to put in money early. I'm going to do it, but it sucks. I'm literally going to lose money to put money in the hatch, because if you have X die just sitting there, you could be farming it, and earning interest on it, and then put in and get more hatch tokens at the end, right at the last minute. So that's going to be a big challenge. Just up. On the pro side right now, we know what the hatch is going to be. Holy crap! 83-1. So we know what the total supply for builders is going to be, and it's nice even numbers, and we can really lean on this so we have an aligned incentives structure where the more money that the backers put in, the more percentage of the total supply they get. At the min goal is 25%, the target goal is 20%, at the max goal it's 10%. So if we cap out the hatch, then build backers will get 90%. And this is like a really nice story. No one's ever done an aligned incentive hatch like that, like a fundraise. I've never heard of one. So it's a pretty cool thing that people are like, oh, that's cool, that makes sense, and we get simple numbers to describe it. Yay, 83. So yeah, remember when we were doing Hatcher Outreach and people had questions and we're like, the community decided. The community decided. So all those questions are answered. That's really nice. I'm really excited to talk to people. Yeah, that's all.
So you propose basically that the campaign, it's launched on prioritizing top holders or people who we have high interest on for the first 2 days, and then a rollout for the following week for the people who are just have less contributions or less activity on the group. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can do I think we might be able to set the date early. Say, hey, we're going to launch on this date. Because now the tech should be ready after this dress rehearsal. If we don't find any big issues, the tech will magically not be the slow step. And so we can actually count on making promises and dates, which will be wild, At least on my side, I feel comfortable making dates when the tech is ready. So we can announce things early and we can tell people, we can tell it, but we don't necessarily need to ping everybody more than just maybe a link, right? Just send a link with a picture of the dates or something, and it doesn't have to be there's no action step, they don't have anything to do until the hatch opens, right? And then obviously, then we can focus all of our efforts on impact people that actually really need to activate before that.
Right. I think this is something that we should sync with comms mainly, just to check that it's the same kind of alignment that it follows alignment that they are doing for the hatch campaign. So it's kind of sync. Besides that, and doing that sync, I don't think there is much we can do at the moment. I don't know what your thoughts on it, Tam.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. Yeah.
She really liked it.
Dude, people are rage quitting Discord today, and Matt's this is the fifth person.
I hate that idea, Eduardo.
I'm out.
Out of here. I think you had some really good insight. Yeah, I think you have some really good insight. So it was really nice to hear that actually, that we can really be more specific around the exact parameters now, which we weren't able to before. And that makes for a nice communication too. Cool. I'm going back to this list actually, and as I'm looking at it, as we were having this conversation, I'm realizing we have, about 15, 16 people with more than 10 impact hours who haven't yet applied to Trusted Seed. And I feel like we also need to like we need to sort of have Common Stack help with that part too. Or maybe we can do that too, but figure out how to get those people to take the first step if they want to.
Yes, I think there will be a second, like a second wave, or a small or big, I don't know, but a second wave of outreaching sessions that will be needed to, for example, these people that you mentioned, Griff, that they haven't applied to Trusted Seed, or the ones that Tamara just mentioned. I think that we will have a second batch of onboardings. I had 3 last week of people who had to be onboarded in order to participate or activate or do anything. And so yeah, I think we will have a second wave of this.
I'm really looking forward to those actually. I'm waiting intentionally for us to be much closer to the hatch, but I'm actually really looking forward to doing bigger groups. You know, groups of like 4 to 5 people, maybe a little more, but not much more than that. I think that's going to be really cool dynamics actually, because there's going to be more of a discussion. And you know, the soft commits, maybe we just don't even talk about that. It's more going to be about like, hey, this is what the TC is. These are the phases. This is the hatch. We'll have so many new cool things to look at. We'll have the visual explainers, and we can do less talking that way.
I have a question regarding the proposals, the params proposals that won. Will we have like any session for explaining this proposal and the results and how it will translate into the hatch? Like, because probably there will be people hatchers that will want to know how that affects them, or how that helps them, or whatever consequence it has, and the rest of the community will probably have these questions besides the params party. But like, if we have like a sort of a session for explanatory of it and how it actually applies in reality, I don't know if we can do that, or I don't know if that's something that's feasible, but just putting it out there.
I don't know if that makes sense. But...
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Zep.
I was going to say, like, maybe I could take like the debates params and take just this part of the proposal when it was Lauren explaining it, and then also like people debating it, and just have this part, and maybe we can promote that video.
Cool idea.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Lauren's
idea.
pitches for this were like people were like, Lauren convinced me 83 is the best. Like lots of people were saying that. It was really funny. I think she was doing some like underground promoting. Like she was like going to have just 2 other people. 83.
Yeah, mainly because I feel it is necessary for the community to be fully aware of the results of this and so on. So that's it.
Of course, it's going to be in our next blog post, right? Which is going to happen next week. And the post itself, I mean, there's a lot of work that went into describing the strategy and the results inside the issue itself. So I kind of feel like in terms of communicating it, it's well covered. But the video idea is fire. And I don't know how long it can take, but it would be a great ad if we could also add that to the blog post, which should come out early next week. I don't know how long it's going to take you to make that clip, but that would be fantastic. That would be really, really cool.
And we should have a complete spec. I mean, like, you know, there's definitely some work on the form side too about like, I mean, we have it. It's literally just copy paste, change the numbers. You know. Yeah, so we'll have a complete spec. We'll have, I think that the original post and this post could be morphed into a blog post or like of some sort. Like we need to say, hey, this is how the hatch works with the parameters, you know? Like we can, without it being vague, right? We just need to say, oh yeah, so when you put money in, 2% is there, you know? If we don't reach the goal, you get your money back, you know. I mean, it's actually pretty well written in the legal documentation. That's where I think it's the best written. But kind of sad, I guess. Like the one thing no one will ever read. But yeah, I know, right? Judge and jury. This meme clearly identifies that the plaintiff is wrong.
Yeah, but in general terms, I do feel that some hatchers and some member of the community will probably need this kind of this is what you just expect, like just with a practical example of what will happen when you do this, and if you put 500 die or whatever, what's the result? Like just a practical appliance of this result, rather than the technical explanation that sometimes they really don't care about the technical explanation. They care about how it would affect them. So I think it would be nice to have a session that can be open for that. Just
Man, major scope creep is running through my head. Do it. Like we could make a calculator, dude. We could make a front end. We could make a UI calculator where anyone could come in and put in their thing, put in 3 numbers, and then get all this data, all this output. Yeah. Sorry, not happening. Not no. We have to do the commons upgrade.
But yeah, something like that in a more cold way.
I also think if we go back and read the details in that proposal, I mean, it's super. I don't know what you're envisioning, but like, it really does describe. I mean, and this is sort of the problem, right? It's like words. So it's sort of like it's difficult to read the words, but it sort of talks about the DAO strategy and then what each of the parameters, how each of the parameters affects the outcome, right? So now we could plug those numbers in to show the outcome.
Totally. But what Eduardo said is absolutely correct. Someone who wants to put money in wants to know exactly what happens with their money, and that is not actually totally in here. You know, if I put in $1,000, you know, how much money goes to the non-redeemable pool? How many tokens do I get, right? And how does that change depending on how much we raise? And explaining that from this perspective of like, hi, I'm a hatcher with money. What happens? You know, like this was more of this. This was written from the perspective of, okay, you're a voter and you want to compare these proposals. This is like it's just a different audience with a different purpose. It has all the information, but the audience needs to be shifted to, I have money, now what?
Cool. Okay, yeah.
All right.
So who's gonna do that? Are you volunteering, Eduardo? Is this your pet project?
It can, yes, of course.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool. I would start with the legal stuff because it's written from that perspective. That's the thing. It was written from the perspective of, oh, I have money and I'm donating this thing. What's going to happen to my money? I care. And I'll sue you if something goes wrong, you know? So, like, okay, this is what's going to happen, okay? Like, to the detail. Don't sue us.
Yeah, okay, so is that, and it's quite seriously actually, is that something you want to take on to write something from the perspective of what happens to your fees? Damn, what happens to your contributions?
Yes, I feel this is for me. I'm trying to see the forest in a sense of, for me, this is one of the process that will help to build kind of a relationship management with people who will get into the hatch. Like, hey, we want you to have information. We actually will make an effort to build this kind of clarity with you, so you are aware of every step. Like, this kind of process for me is quite relevant. I used to have a background community building, so for me, this is like clarity on processes is key. And I feel that we should like put a little effort on making sure that the people we also onboarded have this space where they can come and play and understand where their where their money goes, how it goes, and how it plays out.
Cool. And what do you envision? This is like an article that you write, how do you envision it?
I envision it with the first step at Septimus with that video. I think that's a very good first step, and then probably we'll drive it to same way we had kind of params parties, something like that, of kind of a session with people that can just join and openly open questions about so on, and then probably there will be people who want to do that privately. but it's this kind of building community process of, hey, we put a lot of effort on letting you know that you had to vote. Now we have to put an effort on letting you know the consequences of your vote too. It's not only about, oh, we want you, so we need your attention. It's also, post we had your attention, we also need have a result, and we sort of so for me it's always to sort of keep the balance, and that's it.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I would love it to be like lots of. So throw that out there. Like step 1, picture some dude with dye with wrapped X. Go get wrapped X dye. Don't know how? Here's a link, right? Step 2, go to the hatch. Here's the website. What happens when I put money in the hatch? Well, step 2.A. And then, I don't know, something really like, explain it like skimmable picture. This is like super easy. You know, I don't know that it needs to be an infographic, but that would be like the direct course.
All right. You're
You're
muted,
Tam.
So we'll call it Hatcher's point of view.
Yeah.
Hatcher's pop. Okay, cool. Neat.
There you go. Dex, you want to go for the visual explainer, Tam? The last point.
Yeah, sure. God, we're just so close. So close. Here, let's see. I want to stream this. Change windows. It's really the this is pretty final, actually. The phase 1, phase 2 is pretty final. I feel like I've shared it with Griff already. I've shared it with you, Eduardo, already. So Zeptimus, hey, check out the latest phase 1, 2-phase approach for the hatch phase. I mean, for the TEC hatch.
Awesome. It's awesome.
There's just one. Yeah, I know, it's so awesome. God, it's so good. And there's such, like, all the little details are so fine. There's just one tiny thing which we might change, and it's you can't vote no for on token log. And don't know how we sort of express quadratic voting, but there might be just one small change here. But I would say I've already shared it with Chewy for the Hatch content page, and we can use it. And if we decide to update it, we'll update it later. And then there's 3 options for this. Now the TEC is live, and this is how it is operational. There were 3 different ideas around how to sort of show visually, and I think we're going to end up going with this one, but all of them being colored. And then some minor changes there that Griff pointed out and a few other people pointed out. But that hopefully, the constraint here is we only have Joe Z on like Thursdays and like Sundays, where he has a few hours on Thursdays and a few hours on Sundays. So it's like our feedback loop is super slow. He does things very quickly, but it's like if we have a change, I know it's not going to be able to be implemented till Friday. So, but I think it's looking really nice now. So I'm super excited to start using it. Yeah, and that's it.
Nice.
And that's the end of our agenda. Is there anything else anyone wants to raise?
Not in my case. Do we want to finish Septimus' comment at the beginning of the call? Septimus, is there anything else you want us to comment on what you proposed?
No, I feel it's pretty clear. Like the having like this like a script saying like all the platforms, every transaction, that could be too much. So I feel like the community was thinking that's not the thing we want, because the value we gain it's lower than the effort we put. And then for the rules and boundaries for each platform, that's a good thing. And yeah, also Durgadas is going to help us on linking a platform for like what Tam was saying about the like giving and the need access for every contributor. But that's something we will discuss. Oh, actually, we will discuss on the next call on the Steward, because it's a paid app, and yeah, we will discuss how we manage those things. Maybe that's Spots Hatch, or yeah, we will discuss it on the next call.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So let's.
Yeah. And what was the? Sorry, Zep, can you just remind me? Nate wanted to make a larger point around that But I forgot. Oh, the larger point was, I think, subject matter experts. He wanted to ask about subject. Okay, never mind. I remember that there was something related to this that Nate brought up last night in comms, but it just clicked.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Cool. All right. So see everyone in a few minutes at the Steward's call.
Sure.